Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I'm back with Bitcoin and crypto, trying to figure out what's next. As you guys can see, Bitcoin is trading at 33,400, about 30,450, somewhere in the range, working on its way to break through that magic number of 33,500. The invisible number that will actually make a decision. Are we going up or are we going down in the next short term? Now, I do want to say I do apologize. See, there's the beauty part about people that actually have skin in and people have a skin out. People that actually are trading and they actually put skin in, they feel every single time they make a mistake. They know that they make a mistake and they have no choice but to admit it or get out of continuing trading and never come back to trade again. Then there's those that actually pretend to trade. They use paper money or don't even use anything at all. And then they trade, or then they talk about the market, but they never trade. And when they don't trade, they have to compensate their income somehow. That's where they actually start looking for alternative forms of income. I don't feel comfortable compensating my losses with you guys' income, even would be nice to do so. But I want to share about something that I messed up on. And again, as I have said in the past, sometimes listening to us YouTubers screws you guys out of the most successful trade that you could have had. And maybe we are the YouTuber guys on YouTube may be guilty of that. I don't know. It's for you guys to decide. But I'll say something. As I watched other cryptos follow Bitcoin through this drop, and especially in the last 2 weeks, it followed Bitcoin very closely. We would have Shiba, Doge, and a few other coins kind of wander off for a little bit, then they come back. But the last 24 hours, or actually not the last 24 hours, the last 36 hours, I was noticing something very familiar to what was happening in a bull market. During the time when I traded in March, during this period of time, actually, I got in. Bitcoin was rare, somewhere in this area at that time, and I noticed where coins, they had reaction to Bitcoin to a certain level, but at the same time, they ran on its own whenever they felt like it. And whenever they did not run on its own, then they actually would follow Bitcoin. And I started noticing some of these coins, they were kind of following the Bitcoin, but at the same time, they did not follow to do. They actually kind of had that bullish attitude. Oh, I'll catch up. Or I'll run in front. Or I'll do my own thing, like example H bar. It was doing its own thing. we can actually go through some of the coins that I was trading, and I actually, as soon as it broke through 33,000, I sold. But I didn't sell 100%. I sold 90% of the each coin invested amount, and only capped $100 per coin. So if this still has a chance of reversal going back, all I have to do is add $900 back to it, and I'm back in the trade. So I don't have to look which coin already picked out for that bearish run and try to figure out which ones I'm missing. So all I have to do is just click on each one, add 900 bucks, and I'm done. But let's look through these coins, and let's look at patterns as they've flown through this market. So here's the Bitcoin, and Bitcoin came out, had some going sideways, went back up, kind of bounced, created this W. This is not Bitcoin. I'm like, yeah, Bitcoin actually had a different pattern. Sometimes when you look into those monitors, you'll start remembering and forgetting the same thing. So came up, went sideways, came up to 32.8, dropped down, went sideways, slowly increasing to the top, created this W. And again, I'm looking at this W as it came up to the top. There is still possibility we will go sideways and then drop. As I already showed you guys, I've seen this W in the past, and I will show you guys again. Let's actually do this in a large screen. I've seen this W in the past. Okay, it was a reverse of W. It was an M. Man, I need to take a break away from the monitor. So it's not the W, it's an M that time. Okay, then I guess I'm spending too much time at the monitor. So yeah, this W definitely, we are most likely going up, breaking to 35. And actually, while we're on this recording or this live, we might actually break through 35 while, because we came up almost at 30. What is this candle? It was high, actually 33,500 right there. So we did hit that candle, 33,500. So we hit it. Right now we just need to get over it. So yeah, there's a huge potential. We're going up now, and that supports what I was saying. Is just didn't follow. So let's actually go through these coins. So we kind of had the sideways and then the W as we went, and right now we're higher than the last earlier high. So let's go start with YFI. As YFI, we came up, we had that side kind of reconciliation, or I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the word correctly. What's up, like shorted Matic at 0.9. Hope it goes down. Hey Daniel, I was hoping, I was praying. You have no clue, because I was margin out at 2.6. I was at maxed, and nothing helped. We still came up to 33.5. Just popped in to say hi. I'm gonna have to watch my trade as I don't use stop loss. Hey, do whatever you need to do, Daniel. I always have I trade out of a computer, but I also trade out of my phone. So if in case I lose internet on my computer, I can bounce back to my phone and vice versa. This way, I have, backup. I also trade out of both, so I kind of are used to, instead of, panic. What am I doing next? So I know what I'm doing at least. So we kind of have the same Bitcoin pattern. This area is a little bit higher, and this area is a lot much higher. Doge. As we can see with Doge, we popped it up quite well, came back, and each high is lower than the previous one. So as a Doge, it kind of continues pattern, but it created its own records, highs and lows. As we can see, Doge does not believe we are going to the top yet. The minute it actually thinks we're going to the top, this thing will fly like this to the top. XLM. XLM completely a different thing. Honestly, I believed with watching Bitcoin, this was its top. Since then, it continued going further up. And as you can see, we created this W, this big W, and it has not broken its last high. So there is that possibility of they're all following, but at the same time, they're not following to the tooth. They're creating their own lows and highs based on how they feel. Look at this one. Had a very slow travel to the top compared to the odd ones where they shot up right here in this time frame. This one actually shot up and actually had lows, and since then we were not creating new highs. Matic. Matic has a similarity to Bitcoin, but it has not broken out of its trend yet. So now it all depends on Bitcoin. Bitcoin start traveling past 33.5. All of these will have to break out of their trend. And of course, we might break out only. I just had a phone, so doing my best. I got take care, bro. All right, take care, Daniel. So now this one quite followed as Bitcoin, but didn't come up as high as Bitcoin. Uni also has a very interesting, as right here on Bitcoin was the high, it still went, pumped it further, and it actually reacted on that Bitcoin pump, and it actually went higher than all its previous highs. So as you guys can see, as I was looking at it, I was seeing that pattern of, like, Uni had very unique pattern of some of the bullish behavior. There's this one as well. Um, where is it? XRP has somewhat similar, but with higher highs. Look at Raven. Raven completely just slid slowly to the top, having a very small growth, while Bitcoin and other coins had a huge growth here in the beginning in this section. So it's just bullish behavior. And with this bullish behavior added to as I'm watching, and this W forming almost on every single coin, tells me we are not most likely coming down. And if we break through 33.5, what actually forces us to break down? Oh, by the way, market makers can actually bring us down. They're on vacation. It's a weekend, right? and something about market makers I'll actually say. And I already joked in the group, and I'm gonna actually right now joke on YouTube, but there's actually some truth to this. Market makers is like adults, and retail traders, which we are like children. So when you leave children unattended, and that's exactly because market makers went on the weekend home, left us unattended. What actually we do? We do some crazy stuff, and that's what I had that feeling. First of all, I didn't realize this morning today was Friday until somebody mentioned today is Friday. When somebody mentioned today is Friday, I started getting worried. Because if we go back, and let's go back to Bitcoin, and we're going to go back to, here. We're going to go back to the 17th, 18th. And let's look at 17th and 18th, what actually happened. Am I picking the right date? Yeah. As we had this big M created, which was all evidence. Look at that M. We had all evidence of actually going down, and we should have went down. But as the weekend started, we kept on going up and up and up, and then we kind of went a little bit down and sideways. And then look at that, 19th. When the 19th hit and market makers went back to work, back to monitors, they did exactly what Friday M was telling is going to do. They dropped it. Look at that. So if you cut this, and I'm going to use a ruler so you guys can understand. If we cut from the time when New York went, why is that? When you cut this section out that I just highlighted, and you put this towards here, you can see that pattern continued without any question, and it fulfilled its destiny. So let's look today what we can see today based on today is the 23rd. So 23rd, and we created this W. So what I'm seeing is no matter what actually happens at 33.5 from now on till Monday morning in Asia will push it further up, which as long as we can even hold, let's say 33.5 for the next 40 plus hours, we will be continuing going up. Daily candle close in 5 minutes, love. Let's see what actually happens, but there's not much can change in 5 minutes, right? Up, up. So let's actually get this feeling. Bounce. Okay. You guys probably looked at it like, what the hell you guys are doing? So as we came down. Okay, when now? That's going to be April 1st, which is 7 days away, 7, 8 days away. So in 8 days, and I might be wrong, if we continue this with its attitude, we might be coming up to 38,000, 40,000 before we come to next trend line reaction. Let's have a little patience. See what happens in the next 2, 3 days. And what was that? It was just got an alarm. Oh, we just broke through 5. Officially, again, I might be wrong. But officially, I think we are moving up. Now, I'll do this, and you guys can criticize me as much as you guys love to, and say Slavic is the most failed YouTuber on the planet. But I don't think we're coming back here in the next week and a half. And I guess I lost audio because I don't hear audio. Come on. Oh, that's okay. Next time it comes back, I'll edit out. So yeah, I don't think we're coming back in this period to this area. So I think this area is out of limit in this trade trend. Now, what I'm seeing, and as we just started a new day, probably trading in this area somewhat, possibly. The next day, we're looking at probably about this. The following day, this. Then probably something like this. And probably something like this. Somewhat estimated. I'm actually going to leave these white lines here and see how far I've been accurate at this. Of course, I did miss, looks like days. I missed this day. But you guys kind of get an idea. Hey, I might be full of shit. So don't take my word for it. But what if I'm feeling something that normal human beings should not? I'll share something with you guys. Hopefully, this won't make it to the large public. Sometimes I do have profitable things. Prophetical. I believe that's the right word when you prophesy something. Especially when I start communicate something and it starts when and skies open and it starts pouring. I be honest, I'm not sure how to actually activate that here on YouTube and in crypto, but if you ever had a chance to speak with me on the phone and you get me to the point where the skies open, record every word of it. There were things in my life where it would pour, and then I would actually go back and think and try to actually decipher what actually poured out of me, and then try to understand. And that's how sometimes I can predict what will happen tomorrow, because uh, somewhere somehow was said something to somebody. uh, Tom, I know you're listening. I'm waiting for your video, for your for your interpretation and view. Because, as I always said in the past, you are my second. What I mean by that, in the scripture it says, one is good, but when you have the second prophet that say something, it's a verification of the first prophet, that what he said was actually right. So Tom, I am waiting for that second verification. I hope you hear me and you actually send me that second verification that I'm looking for, because I personally believe if I am right, we should be all jumping on this wagon. That's that's how I believe. Tom just released a video and the title says Tether collapse, catalyst for doomsday, crash, XRP, BTC, next out technical analysis. Hey, I'll be ending this video right now. Go watch what Tom says, but unless Tom says we are going down, still going down after breaking 33.5, I think it might be a time to get on the wagon. We missed the train at 29.5, but I think we do not want to miss the train at 34,000. It's just my view, but again, this might be a fake out. Might be a fake out. So blessings to all. Like I said in the past, I'm trying to figure this out, and when I do, you guys will be the first to know. And one thing I know, end of the day, crypto will allow us to become somebody from nobody, especially if you're nobody and your bank account is in pain, hurting, your family is tired looking at you and saying you're a failure, your wife is been considering for a long time ago that she wants to divorce you. Let's reverse all that. Let's show them that you deserve it. You deserve to be a man in the house. You deserve to bring the big money into the family. You deserve to put your bank account into a situation where you don't have to question, do I have enough in my bank? Let's make that happen. Let's make it happen together. I bless you, every single one of you. If you're a woman out there, I bless you as well. Make the difference in your family's home, in your financial home. Let's make it together. I bless every single one of you. Take care. Talk to you soon. I am going to watch Tom, and I recommend you guys to jump on and do the same, and then I'll probably come back and digest what we heard from Tom and what we see on the screen and where it's going. Blessings to all.